Hi, welcome to today's dance class. I've got some samba for you, so I hope you're ready to have a little bit of fun and to party. I've got some colourful clothing on. I thought I'd make a bit of an effort, and I've even got some maracas lurking in the background, which will come out a little bit later. Right, so the thing about the samba is that it can be quite energetic. However, I will give you a low level and alternative so that you don't have to make it quite so energetic. And what we'll do before we get cracking with the routine is also look at some of the basic samba bounces. A lot of people do struggle with that. Now, today's music, I've chosen a royalty-free track, which actually is going to make it a little bit easier because you can consider it one long routine that we're just going to repeat over and over. However, for the purpose of the class, I'm still going to break it down into the sections to make that a little bit easier to go through the routine. Right, so first of all, let's look at the samba bounce. Now, essentially, you'll start with your right foot, and it's a step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. And what's happening is the foot that comes in, sort of second of all, is going to keep the heel up because you're going to step, and then you're going to use that other foot to lift up and down. So you've got step up and down, step up and down. So I'm doing a step and a little tap as I lift up on the other foot, which is your supporting leg. So step, lift up, step, lift up. Now it's very similar to what we do in the Bollywood bounce. So if you've already seen the Bollywood video, you'll be aware of that. So we're just using that other foot to lift up. Now you can do it sort of more energetically and bouncing lots so that your supporting leg lifts completely up, or you could do it a little bit lower so just the heel comes off on the ground. And if you want that lower version that I talked about earlier, then it's more of a step tap, and you can do a little bit of a bend in the knee, so you get a little bit of movement up and down, but it's a much lower level. And of course, when we're running through to music, you might find that it gets a little bit tiring towards the end, so of course you can always change to the lower version if you want to. All right, let's get cracking and get on with the routine, and we're going to start with our first section, which is going to be the walk in a circle. To start with, we'll do our walk in the circle. It's 2 walks and a step and bounce. You'll do that 4 times over, starting with your right foot and moving in a clockwise direction. So that's to your right. So it's walk, walk, step and bounce. 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 And you may have noticed I finished further forward, and that was intentional. So we'll do 4, and you can finish coming forward on your 4th one. So like I just showed you, but we'll do that again to a count. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, step and bounce. 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 And hopefully you saw that when I did the bounce, that I kept the other foot with the heel off the ground when I'm doing that. Now, also, we can get the arms going as well. And later, if you have maracas at home or something that you can shake that's noisy, I don't know, a little pot of vitamin tablets or something like that, you can hold that in your hand and get carried away. What we tend to do is when we do the bounce, we get the arms up and we'll shake. So starting with your right foot again, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, step and bounce. 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 Now, I ought to forewarn you that the track is going to be at the faster end of the samba. There's quite a wide spectrum in terms of the beats per minute. It can be sort of lower down the sort of 96 beats a minute, or at the higher end, sort of 124 beats a minute. So this is about 120 beats a minute, so it will be quite quick. So let's just try again, but a fraction quicker. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, step and bounce. 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 All right, so the next move that we're going to do is called the bachicada. Now we finish further forwards. Actually, I'll kind of show you from the back first of all, and then I'll do it travelling. Essentially, it's a step tap on the spot. Step tap, step tap, step tap, step tap. But the idea is we do it quickly. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. So step tap, step tap, step tap, step tap. Now, as I mentioned, we do that moving back. So it's back and tap, back and tap, back and tap. And when I do the tap, I'm tending to just tap on the spot, whereas the other foot, the starting foot, is stepping back back, tap on the spot, step back, tap on the spot, step back. So you'll have more of this action where one foot is in front of the other. But obviously we need to pick up the speed on that, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And we can get the arms going as well. We tend to keep them up at about chest height, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So quite tricky, especially with the faster music, but I hope that you'll manage. Let's put those two bits together. So we're going to do the walk around in a circle. Remember to come forward, and then we'll do the bachata coming back. So the right foot starting, and you're going to your right. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, step and bounce. 1, 2, step and bounce. 1, 2, step and bounce. Ready, bachata. Step, tap, and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Quite a lot to dance and talk at the same time. All right, so we have a little hip action from there. We're going to do 2 slow hips. Literally, I'm keeping my legs straight, transferring the weight and moving the hips from side to side. So just the 2. You'll go to your right first, to your left, and then I'll do 4 quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you do the slow ones, you have more time to transfer your weight over from one side to the other. When I do the quick ones, I keep my weight in the center and the hips are doing all the work. And I'm keeping the legs straight the whole time, and trying to isolate. So when I do the quick ones, there's very little movement in the upper body. So that's 2 slow and 4 quick coming out of your bachata. Now the last move of the section, and then we'll put that together, or this part, is going to be the whisk. It's another classic Samba move. It's the step and bounce, moving from side to side, but we take the foot behind as we do our little bounce. So it's side, behind and bounce, side, behind and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. So we can either lift up and keep nice and high with the bounce, or you can kind of keep it a little bit more moderate, or if you need to, just think of it as a step tap. So those are kind of different levels in terms of the energy output. And we're going to have 8 of those. So we'll start to our right foot, and I tend to kind of keep the arms also up at about chest height as I would shake the maracas, as I will do a bit later. So let's try just that little bit to a count. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. 4 more. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So that's your whisk. Now in our first section, let's piece together from that walk in the circle. Starting with your right foot. Walk, walk, step and bounce. Walk, walk, step and bounce. Walk, walk, step and bounce. 1 more coming forward. Bachata going back. Step, tap and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slow hips. 2 slow only. 4 quick. Into whisk. Side, behind. For 8. 4 more. 5, 6, 7 and 8. And there is our first section. So let's try it to music. Are we ready? Walk in a circle. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, step and bounce. Going forward. Bachata. Hip sway. And kick. Whisk. Should we try another time? I'll give you a chance to get your breath back. Nice deep breath. And me too. Alright. Are you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Walk. Bounce. Walk. Bounce. Bachata. Count that. Step down. Hip sway. Slide. Quick. Whisk. So I hope you got on okay with that first section. It's now time to take a look at the next section. So our next section is going to start off with our stationary Samba walk. That's a bit of a mouthful, so I'm probably not going to say that much while we're actually dancing. Essentially, it's a step and bounce, but with the foot going behind. Now, we've done the whisk where we went from side to side and we cross behind. This one stays on the spot, but we take the foot behind. So still keeping with that same style of the step and bounce, step on the spot and then bounce, taking the foot behind, replace, step and bounce, step and bounce. What you'll notice, especially if I turn sideways to help you see that, is how the back foot stays nice and high. We're using the balls of the feet instead of putting the heel down. Step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. Even if you want to just do a low version, you're still going to keep the heel up. And if you're not even bouncing, it's a tap of the toe. So really try and keep that weight forward over your supporting leg. And so that when you take the foot behind, the heel is nice and high. We're using it for balance as much as anything to help us get that lift. So I hope that helps a little bit. So the stationary Samba walk, we're going to have 8 of those, and you'll step on your right foot first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Now when I tend to do this, I tend to take the arms in and out quite often when I do that. So step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. 7 and 8. There are other variations, so feel free to do something else, but that's generally what I would do. All right, so from there, we're going to do the Botafogo. So it's a tricky step, but not much more difficult than any of the ones that we've already done. The same concept is the step and bounce. But we are going to travel forward for 4 and back for 4. Now, let's just recap. We've done our variation where we've done the whisk from side to side. So I'm moving from side to side, taking the foot behind. We've also done the one on the spot where you take the foot behind. So same idea, step and bounce, but just doing it on the spot. Well, a Botafogo is very similar to the stationary Samba walk in that you'll stay on this spot for the moment, but your foot goes to the side rather than behind. So instead of side, behind, replace, it's step, side, replace, step, side, replace, step, side, replace. And when I'm saying replace, I'm just lifting up, replacing the foot on the spot. And as before, I'm keeping the heel up of the foot that's going to the side. I don't want to put too much weight onto it, so that's why we keep that heel up, working in the balls of the feet. Step, side, replace, step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So getting lots of nice bounce. Even if you want to do a low bounce, you still keep the heel up. And if you want a lower version, it's a bit like a step and tap, and you can just use your knees to get a bit of a bounce. And sometimes when you lose this pattern with the timing with this particular move, it's sometimes good to come back to think of it as that step and tap, because it helps you get the shape of that, especially when we start to travel, which we're going to do. Rather than do it on the spot, we're going to move forward for 4 and then come back for 4. So you'll step forward first of all, step forward, then comes the bounce, and the foot goes to the side. Step forward and bounce, step forward and bounce, step forward and bounce. 4 then coming back, so I'm going to just step behind and bounce, behind and bounce, behind and bounce. So if you lose it at all, just think of it as a step tap to the side. Notice I'm staying in what I would refer to as a middle line. I'm not going off the spot. It's my leg that's going to the side. And what we're really trying to do is get that leg to help you lift up and down and get the bounce. And we do that by pressing into the ground with the balls of the feet. So, step forward and bounce, step forward and bounce, step forward and bounce, step forward and bounce. Then back and bounce, back and bounce, back and bounce. When I do this, the arms often go up the opposite way to where the legs are. Or the leg to the side, I should say. Yep, so you can see I've purposely slowed and stopped, paused so you can see the arms on the opposite side to the leg that went out for the bounce. It is quite tricky. I don't want to show you the variations because I don't want to put ideas in your head. But remember, I'm staying in the middle. I'm not moving from side to side. I'm literally stepping forward and putting that bounce on. Let's try it to a count, starting with your right foot, 4 going forward, 4 coming back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step and bounce, 3 and 4. Back, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Let's put that together then. We have already done the stationary samba walk, closing behind, starting really with this second section. We'll have 8 of those, and then we will do the travelling Botafogo's forwards. So we'll start with our right foot. We've got close behind, 3 and 4. 4 more, 5, 6 and 7. Now going forward, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back for 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So hopefully that went okay, and you're starting to get to grips with those moves. Now next up we have the voltas. They're a little bit tricky, and we normally go from side to side, and I might just start off with that to begin with to get some of the basic moves, but we're actually going to end up doing it in a circle because generally speaking we haven't got a huge amount of space. And if you did the jazz video with me already, you might remember this sort of side and front step that we did, out and in, out and in. Well, that's essentially what we're going to do now with our voltas. I'm going to start, or I'd like you to start with your right foot up and go side and front, side and front. So you're going right, left, right, left. If you need to look down and just check that you're doing that. So your weight is on your left foot, the right foot has got the heel up. So briefly you're on the right foot, but you finish with your weight on the left foot each time, with the feet in front. Now notice also, I'm doing quite small steps. I'm going to the side and then I'm bringing the other foot in front. Now I have actually got my hips turned out, so my feet are facing more towards the corners. So it means that the feet are not getting in each other's way. Now imagine that you're doing that turning in a circle. You're going anti-clockwise around a circle. So imagine that you're going the wrong way around a clock. You're going to face the center of that the whole time, and we'll just do slow ones. You've got right, left, right, left, right, left. So keep going around and side and front each time, finishing on your left foot. So hopefully that went okay. It's about keeping that weight forward. And if you stay facing the center the whole time as you turn, you're never changing from side and front. I'm not facing the direction I'm going. I'm doing that all moving sideways. And that's your key for doing this successfully. Now those were the slow ones, but I'm afraid we also do quick ones. Now the slow ones have a pause in between each one. Side and front, hold, side and front, hold, side and front, hold, side and front, hold. So you can guess, when we do the quick ones, there is no pausing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Still keeping those steps quite compact. So you might want to give that a go, just to the side again. Have your right foot behind with your weight on your left foot. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Still moving sideways, but facing front. Now, see if you can do that. Quick ones only, moving around in the circle. So you're still facing the center, you're still moving sideways, and your right foot is going to lead you each time. Sorry, because I do this in reverse to what I would normally do as well. So your right foot is leading. Are you ready? Let's see how, just do 8 and see how far around you can get in your circle. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. How did that go? All right, so basically what we are actually going to do for the routine is 2 slow and 4 quick, twice over. So 2 slow, 4 quick. Now, what you want to think of is the spacing for this. We're not trying to get around really quickly. You're going to have a reasonable circle. So do 2 slow and 4 quick for half the circle, and then you've got another half the circle to repeat that again. So first of all, the slow ones, side and front, then 4 quick, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Side and front, quick, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And hopefully you started or finished where you started. Let's try it again. So weight on your left foot, with the right foot ready to go. Keep facing the center, so keep moving sideways. 2 slow, 4 quick, twice over. Small little steps so you don't find yourself going round and round a couple of times. 5, 6, 7, 8. Side and front, and quick, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and slow, and quick, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm really doing very small little steps to keep it a bit more compact. So that was quite challenging. Let's recap what we've got so far now. I'm afraid there's still one more little bit we'll add for this section. We had stationary samba walk, step and bounce. And I did the arms in and out. And we're going to have 8 of those. You'll start with your right foot as always. 6, 7, and 8. From there, we're going to do our botafogo coming forward. So we have the step and bounce, step and bounce. We did 4 coming forward. We've got 4 going back. And then we have our voltas. So this is where you're going to turn. Now the foot is at the side, but we'll bring that in behind us. Side and front. Side and front. Sorry, my arms automatically came up and I haven't mentioned those yet. We'll do that in a second. Quick, 2, 3, and 4. Slow, and quick, 2, 3, and 4. And now, of course, you can choose how bouncy you make those as you go around as well. Right, I did allude to the arms then. Generally speaking, when you've got the maracas in your hand, you wave the arms in the air. Slow, and quick, 2, 3, and 4, and slow, and quick, 2, 3, and 4. And last up for you is the basic forward and back. It's a forward step and bounce, back step and bounce. Like I said, basic. Probably should have started with this one. But essentially, we're just doing 4 steps forward and back. We have either our step and bounce lifting up, or if you need to, if you want more of a lower level, which is one of the reasons why I've done it a bit later, just to give you a bit more of a breather, then by all means keep it lower. Generally speaking, forward on your right foot and I take the arms up. When you go back on your left foot, I bring them down. So if you have your maracas, still shaking at the top, shaking at the bottom. 2, 3, down. Or just bring them up and down if you haven't got anything to shake. And that is the section. So let's recap to account those 4 moves. Stationary samba walk, botafogo forward and back, the voltas in the circle, and then finishing with that basic forward and back. Take a nice deep breath. And let's give it a go. Stationary samba walk to start with. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, botafogo forward. 1 and 2, 3, and back for 4. 1, 2. Ready for your voltas. 1, 2, 1, 2, and quick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slow, and quick. 2, 3, and 4. Basic, forward and back. Didn't quite get the arms up for that first one, but not a major problem. Whew, okay, you can see why it's going to be energetic because it's quite fast. Are you ready to try it to music? Let's see. All right. Let's start stationary samba walk. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready, coming forward, botafogos. And back. Voltas to your side, slow. And quick. Slow. And quick. Basic, forward, and back. Alright. Take a breath. We will do it again. Starting with our stationary samba walk. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Botafogo forward. basic, forward and back. Oh, well done. All right. Whew. So, I think I need a drink. Let's have a little pause and we'll come back. Well, the good news is I've got some slower moves for the last section, just to help us pace ourselves for the routine, because it's not a short routine. The music's about 4 minutes long, and some of the other recommended tracks that I'm going to suggest are also going to be longer. So let's look at the last section, and it's the Argentine crosses section. So essentially, it's step and bounce crossing behind, a bit like the whisk in terms of footwork, but a bit more compact. So rather going from side to side, it's a little bit from side to side and a little bit with the foot behind, but much more on the spot, okay? So it's less traveling from side to side. If I was doing the whisk, I tend to really go from side to side, but this one is a little bit more on the spot, so a bit more compact. But also we're going to change the arms. They're basically going to go up and down as we do our crosses. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're having 8 of those. So basically, when you go onto your right foot and the left foot goes behind, you want to have your right arm low. So the hand is down low to the side you've gone to. So when you go to the right, right arm low, other one is high. Swap. Swap. Useful just to practice without the bounce to get used to it. So when you go to the right, right arm is low. When you go to the left, left arm is low. Step and bounce, step and bounce, step and bounce. And of course, if you have the maracas, you could do some shaking there as well if you wanted to. So that's the Argentine crosses. Okay, so it's not super slow, but it's a little bit less energetic than the others. We're going to do some lock steps from there. Now, lock steps basically are slow. We're going to do slow ones only. And the idea is that you're locking the leg together. Oh, it's actually sort of like behind the knee when we do this. Now, at the moment, I'll just demonstrate with 4, but we'll actually only be doing 2 each way. So you'll step on the right and bring the left foot in behind. Step and behind. Step and behind. Step and behind. Then we go the other way. So one foot stays with your weight forward and the other is coming in behind. But you may have noticed the heel is up on that back foot. So I'm only putting my weight on the balls of the feet. I'm keeping my weight forward, forward. And the idea is that the back leg is coming in, locking behind the knee and bringing those legs closer together. You keep your weight forward with straight leg, straight and in. So I'm doing a little bit of a bend when I'm bringing those in, but the front leg is always straight, straight and in, straight, straight, straight. What we're also doing is exaggerate the hip movement going back. Push the hips back, then push back, push back, push back, push back, push back, back, back. So you can see both legs land up being straight on that very first part on the step there. Straight, bend, straight, bend, straight, straight. We'll also take the arms up and down as we do that. Now, just from a lack of space point of view, I thought rather than doing 4 each way, we'll do 2 only, but we'll do that 4 times over. So you've got 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. What that does mean is you don't quite lock in the same way on that second one. 1, lock, 2, turn, so bring my knees together there, up, lock, up, together, up, lock, up, together, up, lock, up, together. And there's your slow lock step, which was the one that followed the Argentine crosses. Last of all, we're going to do slow pivot. And we will do them both directions. And we'll start with our right foot turning to the left. That's anti-clockwise. And generally speaking, we just do a little tap and pivot. We're going to do 8 of those, so you've got plenty of time to get around, so you don't have to take a big step. And on the last one, we'll change our weight over. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, change. So essentially, it's literally tapping the foot around and making sure your supporting leg, which is the one underneath you, you let the heel come up and down slightly so you can tap around and get all the way there and change, and then the other foot. We also want to try and encourage the hips a little bit. So we try and get the hips going out as well, and the arms generally shaking in the air. Because we're doing the slow ones, you get a little bit more time. And we can try and sort of circle the hips as you go. So when you are going to use your right foot, you're going to circle the hips back and around in an anti-clockwise direction. And when you go with your left foot, it's clockwise. But don't worry if you don't get the circle of the hips as well. That's quite challenging. We'll see how we go. Okay, let's put those moves together. Argentine crosses. We then have the slow lock steps, and we'll start with this, finish with the slow pivot. So let's try putting that to account, the Argentine crosses, lock step, and the slow pivot. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, lock step for 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Get ready for the pivot, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and change, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and close. Let's try it to music. Just that section. Okay. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more. Ready? Lock step. Push the hips back. Slow pivot. Changing sides. Ready to go back to rhythm? That's what we will be doing. Actually, I'm going to leave that right. Let's just try it again. Doesn't matter, it's a different part of the music. Here we go. Argentine crosses. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more. Lock step. Pivot. Slow. Other way. And close. We have all the steps. It's time to see if we can remember all of them and put it together and dance it through. Now, like I said, the sequence is actually easy this time, in so much as you've just got to remember that sequence over and over. We're not going to jump around at all like I would normally to fitting it to music. So hopefully that will be one blessing for today, despite the fact that it's quick and energetic. All right, recap. Walking in a circle, starting with your right foot, step and bounce. Like before, just going to mark it through and coming forward on that fourth one. Bachata is your quick step tap on, gradually moving back. And then finishing with our slow hip sway for 2, and then 4 quick, isolating just the hips into our whisk, side with the bounce. And we'll have 8 of those. That's our first section. But like I said, the sections are really for the teaching part. Really now we want to just try and think of it as one long routine. So into the stationary Samba walk. So instead of the whisk, move straight then into taking the foot behind, and we'll have 8 of those. We've got the Botafogo moving forward for 4, and then back for 4. From there, we'll take it into our voltas. This is the one where we're going in the circle. You have the 2 slow to start with. Into the 4 quick. Keep those steps small so you don't come around too quickly and find yourself going around for a second circle. We don't want to do that. And then from there into our basic forward and back. It's forward on the right, back on the left, step and bounce, 4 sets. Now, of course, remember, like I said, if you want to keep it at a lower level or at any time need to just take it down a notch, then do more of a step dance rather than the bounce. Okay, so from that basic into the Argentine crosses, and the section we've just done, so we have our 8 of those. Lock step, 4 times over, alternating side for your 2s, and the slow pivot as well. I don't really need to recap those, we just did that a minute ago. All right, from that slow pivot at the end, that would take us back to the beginning, and like I said, into the walk again, and off we would go again. But now, let's just do everything once through, because we haven't pieced it all together and done it to music. Once we've done that, then we will attempt the whole thing. Are you ready? So from the top, once through, walk in a circle, right foot. 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming forward. Chicana. Hips. Quick. Whisk. Take it now behind. Cross stationary Samba walk. Push forward, forward. And back. Ready for those volters, in a circle, slow and quick. Basic, forward and back. 2 more sets. And then Argentine crosses, to your right. Lock steps, slow, 2 each side. Change sides. 5, 6, 7, and that's where we go back to the beginning. Whew. How did it go? Did you manage to stay with me? I hope so. All right, so it is time now to put it all together. Like I said, we are just going to keep going through. It's about 3.5. No, almost 3 times through. So not fully 3 times, it's 2.5 or so times through. Okay, so like I said, we've got some royalty music for this. And if you want to, grab those maracas. Yeah, I said I did have some. So I'm going to do also with the maracas as well. And let's have some fun. Walk in a circle. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming forward. Touch your collar. Hip sway. Anchor. Whisk. Take it behind. Stationary Samba walk. Buddha Bogo forward. And back. Ready for those volters in the circle. Quick. Slow. And quick. Basic. Argentine crosses to your right. Slow, long step. And again. Ready for the pivots. Now it's time to get a breath. And the other way is a deep breath before we go back to the beginning. circle. Here we go, right foot. 1. But you got it. Hip sway. Whisk. Behind. Bogo forward. And back. Volters in a circle. And quick. Slow. And quick. Basic. Argentine crosses. Right. So lockstep, side. Pivot. Nice deep breaths. Seven and change. So we're gonna go back to beginning last time. Are you ready? Walk in a circle. Here we go. Slow hips, quick, whisk, behind, both go forward, knee and back. Basic forward back to finish. And we're going to leave it there. Well done. Whew. I hope you enjoyed your Samba workout. And I'll see you for the next video. Don't forget to do your cool down stretch at the end of this video. It's really important, especially with these bouncy energetic ones. A lot of work going on the legs. You really need to stretch out the hamstrings and your calf muscles. So do please make sure you do some stretching. Thanks for watching. See you next time.